Black, black, everything black.
The reason I decided to name this documentary Peaches, Peanuts, and Pines is because Georgian culture includes all three of those elements. We are always one of the top 3 states to produce peaches in the United States of America, and we are the #1 producer of peanuts for the United States of America with over 40% production. The landmass of Georgia is covered predominantly by pine trees, the #1 tree species in the state of Georgia.
Black, black, everything black, everything black.
How have rural communities impacted the state's identity?
I think that people should know rural communities have contributed to musical culture as well as Atlanta. So Otis Redding, Ray Charles, those are 2 people who are from rural communities but are well known because we all have our own personality. So I think people should know that we are still distinctively unique as well.
Black, everything black, everything black. Black, black, everything black, everything black, everything black.
How did growing up in Atlanta shape your creative or artistic outlook?
Growing up in Atlanta was real electrifying. I think of Vic, man, back when Vic had the whole city going crazy, man, just the way he came and did it. And for me, it was like, man, I'm seeing this firsthand. Like I can go down to the stadium and watch Vic. I can go, I used to skip school and go get Outkast CDs, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I went to Tri-Cities, so Outkast, they, we didn't go at the same time, but they went to Tri-Cities. If they can come to the same school, man, and make it this big, I can do it too, so that influenced me, helped me with storytelling, just where I grew up at, man, the Campbellton Roads, the Adamsville, the West Side, and just, different parts and different pockets in the cities really just made me creative, man. Everything I seen helped me to be who I am, to do film, and I just want to thank Atlanta, man, for that time.
Black, everything black, everything black, black, everything black, everything black, everything black, black.
Hey, son.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, baby. Eddie, where have you been?
Oh, didn't you read my note, Mom? I had to pick up a present.
Then where is he?
Right here.
How would you describe growing up in South Georgia?
So growing up in South Georgia was very much so boring. I have to keep it completely honest. It's because it's small, so it's not much to do. Thankfully, my Uncle Wayne has been living in Atlanta since I was born, 1999. So I used to come up here every summer, and that's what made me want to attend college here. Because the fun experiences as far as my childhood is when I actually went somewhere else. So if we went to the beach in Florida, or like I said, visited Atlanta, which I always consider a second home. But I think the great thing about growing up though is I knew everybody. So it wasn't I had to be nervous, you're starting high school. You used to be in middle school, but you're starting high school. Some people be nervous. Me, it's I'm not from Atlanta where it's multiple high schools. It's it's only one high school. It's big, but everybody go there. So it was it's just like I said, I knew I was going to know somebody. So yeah, that's the only benefit. But it was like I said, I like the community aspect, but it was boring as far as experience and activities aspect. What parts of the city do you feel best capture the essence of Atlanta?
Yeah, it's too many. It's different pockets in the cities, it's different parts, man. It's different zones, it's different streets, so different ones. Like, man, if you go to Auburn Avenue is like the back when Martin Luther King was out there, they used to perform at Peacock. Peacock now is still going to this day, but now they do a lot of reggae and Afrobeats and everything. But that whole street, Sweet Auburn Avenue, is a culture in its own, man. If you research that, man, the west side of Atlanta, man, so many music movements came out of west side of Atlanta. You know, snap music. Atlanta has so many different movements, period. But just, you know, if I go to Decatur, it might not be the same as if I go to the west side, but each one is important, man. Each one is different, and each one influences you in different ways.
Black, everything black, everything black, black, everything black, everything black, everything black, black.
Like generations of students before them, Hamilton E. Holmes and Charlene Hunter Galt just wanted to be a couple of Georgia Bulldogs. They had the grades, they had the accomplishments, but one thing stood in their way.
There was the governor who had said no, not one would ever be allowed to come here.
Governor Ernest Vandiver, elected in 1958 as a staunch segregationist, but soon he had a choice to make. Georgia law said any public school that desegregated would be stripped of all state funding. But fast forward to 1960, a federal court rules UGA had to let in Holmes and Hunter Galt. The state was paralyzed. Are you really going to cut off all money to the University of Georgia? Of course not. Soon, the Georgia legislature changed state law.
Hello, welcome all viewers. I'm Tara Love, and this is Huey G, and today we're discussing Georgian culture, particularly the influence of our brand, Peaches, Peanuts, and Pines, because if you know Georgia, you know about those three things. We are filming in Atlanta, Georgia, and Director Huey G is from Atlanta, Georgia. So tell me, what makes Atlanta feel distinct to you, whether culturally or socially?
Man, Atlanta is different, man. I've been a lot of places, but it's nothing like Atlanta.
Yes.
The way we talk, stuff that we eat, the things we've been through, but it comes from civil rights history. It comes from a lot of things, but you know, it's no beaches, but it's a lot of peaches.
Okay, I like that one. I also want to know, how would you describe Atlanta's atmosphere to someone who's never been here?
Man, electrifying. I mean, Atlanta is the clubs to the film. You know, we got a whole, Tyler Perry has a whole studio for film. Yeah. So it's like, we are from film to music, man. Back when Outkast said they had something to say,
right,
music just took over after that, man. Shout out to T.I. and Ludacris and Killer Mike and everybody who came through and just made Atlanta musically the culture the way it is.
Yeah, it's a lot of contributions. Yeah. And you mentioned Tyler Perry Studios. I actually have been there. I went to see Family Feud with Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was an interesting experience.
Yeah, I used to be a old army base. Yeah.
First off, Confederate Army base. Mm-hmm. Just saying. Okay, so is there anything you would like to ask me?
Yes. What makes rural Georgia a way of life unique?
So I think a lot of people should know that, like, we have our own identity too, in essence. Like, because when people think of the state of Georgia, of course they think of Atlanta, and that makes sense because of all the contributions that the city has produced. But it's like, you know, it's other Georgia natives that you might be aware of that's not from the city, like Ray Charles, for instance. Mm-hmm. And I mean, Georgia on My Mind, performed by Ray Charles, is the state song. So it's like, I think what people should know, that we all have that go get it, hustle spirit, like throughout the state of Georgia. Like, it's just more close knit when it comes to rural communities. Yeah. Yes.
What parts of rural culture do you think people misunderstood or overlooked?
For rural communities, and I think the South altogether too, they associate like being country as a negative connotation. And it's like, this is just where we're from. We can't help how our accents are. And, you know, our mannerisms are. So they'll literally think, oh, you're a country bumpkin, you know, put that in quotation marks, when technically, you know, you can be just as educated, but just have, like I said, a different dialect from someone else. So that's what I think people should understand.
That's right.
Yeah. So, Director Huey G, I would like to know, what aspects of Georgia's culture do you feel most connected to?
The music, sports, film. I'm always root for the Falcons even though they never win a game.
Right.
You know, I'm a Hawks to
you gonna rise up.
I'm gonna rise up, even though they ain't rising up. You know, they hadn't won a playoff game since they've been in the new stadium, the Ben Stadium. We still ain't won it, but I gotta, you know, that's my culture. I gotta get up every Sunday and still watch these Falcons, knowing they're gonna lose.
I always say, you know, and no shade, but I was like, you gotta rise up to be let down. Yeah. For me, I would say that, like, peaches, like, I think that people need to know that, like, we love peaches. Like, and that's also like a marketing scheme you companies do. Y'all be like, Georgia peach gummies. Like, you put that so Georgians can buy it. But I grew up with a peach tree in my yard, so I literally used to just go grab it out the tree. So that is one of my favorite fruits. But I like mangoes and strawberry too. If I'm giving the top 3, yeah.
So we ain't have no trees, so that's dope. I think that's dope. You can just go out there and get it. Like,
right.
My apartment.
I had different, like I had not only a peach tree, but a grapefruit tree and a pecan tree. Yeah, so I used to have to pick pecans up in the summertime and stuff.
I couldn't do that. I had to walk to the store and get it and bring it back.
But it's a great experience. But I will say that's the ultimate goal for me, is to have like a garden, farm, something. Yeah.
Likewise.
What do you hope viewers take away from this film on Georgian culture?
I want people to know that we need Atlanta, Georgia. Georgia needs Atlanta. Atlanta needs Georgia. Two different parts, but they all is needed. Like rural areas is more stillness, more family connected, but in the city, it's traffic, there's a lot going on. So sometimes you need Georgia part to go and just chill, relax, get your mind right. And the city part, teach you how to navigate and do things. So I think viewers should know that both parts are needed, not just one another. Atlanta needs Georgia, Georgia needs Atlanta, man. Atlanta, Georgia.
Right. I like that you said that, because some people from Atlanta like to say, oh, they don't claim Georgia. And it's like, that makes no sense. And I want people to also know that this is a predominantly rural state. The reason Atlanta is a city, like Director Huey G was saying earlier, is because of the historical context. So they had to, invest to have a city so they could, create an airport, etc. And then all the contribution of our ancestors. That's how, people started gravitating to Atlanta as Black individuals, and now it is a predominantly Black city.
One of the busiest airports, one of the busiest airports out right now.
The busiest. And the latest, latest report, the busiest airport in the entire world. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we had to, do something so it'd be like people wouldn't have to be coming to see just pine trees, y'all. I hope that people take away that we have a great energy, but we also know how to be stern and strict too. So it's like, don't cross over on a Georgian, because then you're liable to never get that Southern hospitality anymore. But also that we never told y'all we was the #1 producer of peaches. Because some people think that's what we mean. It's just our brand. We did invent peach cobbler. Like, that started so y'all could buy canned peaches, because, that's how we was making money. We needed them canned peaches sold. So it's like, it's really just our brand. It's less about, like, we sell the most. California will always sell the most out of the United States because they have more land. So, But we are the #1 grower of blueberries, just to throw that in there. Okay. Thanks. Yes. So I hope that this opens everyone's eyes to, more about Georgia, but also make you want to come visit and learn more yourself directly while visiting here. Okay. So I'm Tara Love.
I'm Huey G.
Yes, and thank y'all for watching. Georgian culture predominantly impacts not only me, a Georgia native, but the entire world, because this state and its citizens has impacted music, fashion, and mannerisms.
Black. black, everything black.